Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing something a little bit different. It's another sit down chat. I'm going to be talking about things I wish someone had told me in high school, aka my revelations as an adult so far and looking back at my past experiences. This sort of links in a little bit with my insecurity video, so I'm going to link that here if you haven't seen it already. Go give that a watch. And before I get into it, please make sure you like and subscribe because it really supports me and my channel and I would really appreciate it. So anyways, straight into the video. I'm not even sure how many tips there are going to be yet until I get to the end of the video, but let's just get straight into it. Tip number 1 is surround yourself with positive people, aka people that add to your life. So it took me so long to realize that just because someone's in your life, it doesn't mean they have to be, if that makes sense. So now I am so blessed to have the friends and family that are around me and supporting me and lift me up. But for a long time, I thought if I didn't let someone be in my life that was in my life, even if I found them really draining and like really negative, that, I don't know, I wasn't good enough to find other people. And as I've gotten older, I've realized that that is not true. You are definitely good enough to find people that you click with and that support you, because it is draining having people in your life that are really one-sided in your relationship. And this isn't just in romantic relationships, but in friendships, work, colleagues, like everything. So I really look for those reciprocal relationships now and people that I know I can count on and they know they can count on me. So that's the first thing I wish I had known at like age 14, because 14-year-old Grace was just not a vibe back then for that kind of thing. And I just let people walk all over me, and now I'm not as much like that. Number 2, care less about what people think of you. Even when I started this channel, I was so nervous about what people would think and what people would say and would I come up in people's conversations. And I got to a point and I was like, you know what? If people are going to talk about it, they're going to talk about it, and hopefully the conversation is positive, but that's not something I can control. So now I just try to care more about how I feel about myself and how the people close to me feel, because the people in my life now will call me out if I'm not being a nice person, and that's what I need. So people that I'm not close with, it doesn't really bother me what they think of me anymore, but that is something that has come with so much time. In high school, I cared so much about what every single person thought of me. If someone didn't like me, it would bring me to the point of tears, and I would get so sad and so upset. So if this is you, don't think this is something that just like came for me. This has been years of exploration, and that's exactly what this video is about. If maybe something I've learned in my life can help you not make the same mistake, then that's great. Number 3, I've got be more confident in yourself. This is a big one. Like confidence all round. Like although I seem very confident, and I have to constantly remind people around me about this, I naturally seem quite confident, but it's also a masking technique. Now, I am not actually that confident. I get very insecure. I get very anxious. It's a normal part of life. But I don't know. I sort of fake it till I make it with confidence. So then it tricks people into thinking I'm really confident. But in reality, I have the same insecurities and the same self-esteem problems that everyone else has. We should be confident in ourselves. We all rock. Girls rock. Boys rock. I don't know why we all just like tear ourselves down all the time. And when I see it in other people, I get so upset. And I'm like, Grace, you can't be mad at them for not being confident, because everyone has the same problem. So I think we all should do that. I'm still working on that. As I mentioned I just saw my bin. Shove this way a little bit. As I mentioned in my last video, confidence is still something I'm really struggling with. It seems like I'm super confident, but it's an act sometimes, people, I promise you. It's okay to be scared. Wow, if someone had told me this back when I was like 13, 14 and like literally scared of my own bloody shadow. Fear is one of those things where people are like, you shouldn't be scared of things, you shouldn't have fear, you know, be brave. And sometimes it is okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared in new situations. It's okay to be scared of things that are out of the ordinary for you. It's a normal emotion. I am in the mindset that like every emotion is there for a reason. Like if you were just happy all the time, would you even realize you're happy all the time? I don't know, the sometimes anxious feeling I get makes me appreciate happiness so much more. The scared feeling I get makes me appreciate when I can be really brave about something. So I'm not scared to be scared anymore and acknowledge that I'm scared of something, because that's a normal feeling. So anyways, Everybody feels alone sometimes. Again, when I was like 13, 14, I honestly thought like no one else had the same problems that I did. And looking back on it, I'm like, you are so silly. Because everyone feels alone sometimes, and sometimes you don't feel like you have somebody to talk to, and that is a totally normal feeling. But if you look closely, you'll probably realize that there's someone there that you can talk to. And if not, there are so many services, I'll link some down below, that you can access to help you with those feelings. But I think so many people have that feeling that they're alone and they don't know what to do and they don't know what to say, and it's normal. And I didn't think it was normal at the time. I thought I felt like some alien every time I felt like that. But it is has that been there the whole time? Oh, that's gonna bug me. What was I saying? I don't even know. This one is sort of relating to adult life. So being an adult is harder than you think. I would say I'm barely an adult. I'm 20, about to turn 21 in Feb. And I wouldn't consider myself an adult yet. I live away from my parents. I pay rent, pay bills. Pay bills. Like do all the adult things, cook for myself, clean the house, like that kind of thing. But it's hard being an adult, like in that sense, like budgeting and paying for things. And wow, when I was younger, I did not appreciate how much my parents paid for me. And you know how much they really did for me back then. So it is hard being an adult, and like don't rush through that phase in your life when you might live with your parents. If you don't, then you would already know that it's hard being on your own. I say on your own, I'm like, my parents are so lovely, and I know that if anything ever happened, they'd be there to support me. So I'm not worried about, you know, not having resources, because I know they'd give me any support that I need. But I sort of wish that I had appreciated those years more. Yeah, I'm just, as an adult now, I'm like, wow, things cost so much money, and I never even knew. Mostly food, to be honest. That was a killer I was not ready for when I moved out of home. Speaking of food and moving out of home, before you move out, I'm talking to university students specifically. Learn how to cook at least something, because when my sister and I moved up here, so she moved up 4 years before me, and she definitely went through the same thing that I did. When I moved up here, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to fuel my body right. And so I put on like 15 kilos in my first year of uni, and it was a lot. And just because I just didn't have the knowledge. If you haven't been learning it all your life, then it's kind of like riding a bike. Like someone just gives you a bike and just ride it. But no, it's something you have to learn. So while you're still at home, get your mum's recipes, get your grandma's recipes, get your auntie's recipes, get everyone to teach you. If you have dishes that you like from people in your family, get them to teach you. It is a savior, let me say. And the few recipes that I did learn from my mum before I moved up here, I cook them all the time. Pasta sauce is like my go-to these days. Like not always with pasta. Often I'll just like put it over a salad or like put it over zoodles or something, but it saves me when I don't know what to cook. Take care of your body. When I look back at how I used to not just eat, but like the cycle of like eating and exercise I used to follow, there was like no in between. I'd eat really poorly or like so incredibly clean that you'd end up just falling off the wagon because you had no balance, and then you'd eat a piece of chocolate and you'd be like, well, ruined it now. Don't work out too much. Like I do think working out is so important, but I definitely think there were times when I overexerted my body when I was young. I'm 20, but okay. When I was younger, now looking back at that, like as an adult, I can definitely handle the physical exercise more now. Like that's why I love CrossFit when I go home. I don't do it when I'm up here because it's just too expensive with all my other expenses. But yes, take care of that body of yours, because you only get one body. Like you've got to live with that body for the rest of your life. You've got to take care of your bones, take care of your skin, take care of your insides. Yeah, so important. So important. To be honest, people told me some of this stuff when I was younger, but I just didn't listen because I was like,
this is coming from a 40-year-old who hasn't been in high school for 15 years, and they're trying to tell me how to live my life. They don't even know what it's like to be 14.
That was me all the time. And I am 20. I'm 3 years out of high school. I graduated when I was 17. So that was not that far back for me. So this isn't from a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 35-year-old, aka your parents. This is from someone who has recently gone through all of this stuff. Oh, this breaks my heart. This is like one of the first things that came to my head when I was thinking about what I was going to say in this video. You are more than what you look like. So for a long time, I thought I was disgusting. I thought I was gross. I didn't like the way my face looked. I didn't like the way my body looked. I always thought my nose was too weird for my face. Didn't like my eyebrows for a long time. I thought my hair was weird. I was always dyeing it, and I was just picking apart myself all the time for all the things that like really I couldn't control. Like some of you in your head may be thinking like,
like something you can control.
But back then, didn't have my hormones in check, didn't know what I was dealing with. So no, it wasn't always in my control. And I will admit, since my surgery, I've put on a bit of weight, but you know what? That would have killed me back in the day, but it's just part of life now. Like, you're not going to be one size your whole life. Yes, I'm trying to be fitter and healthier. I've always said I want to be fitter and healthier, and weight loss and a slimmer body is just a side effect of that. That's not my goal anymore. That's how my perspective has changed since, you know, coming into my own with my body. The gist of that was, you're more than what you look like. And I know it seems like that's anything right now, because I remember it. I remember being at the swimming carnivals and not wanting to take off my sports shirt. I used to swim in my faction shirt and my school shorts if I swam at the swim carnival, because I didn't want to take my clothes off to be in my one piece. And I was a dancer. I think my body insecurities were not even the worst, because I every week had to be in a leotard, but it was a different environment. School can be brutal. I know that. Like, even if you're an adult watching this, I'm sure you have felt this at some point in your school, and you look at someone in their bathers, or you look at someone in their sports uniform, and you're like, how do they look like that? It's different bodies. Not everyone is supposed to look the same. If everyone was 6 foot, blonde and tanned, then the world would be boring. You know? The last thing on my list is, none of this lasts forever. So if you are in high school and really struggling, and it seems like it's going forever, and you just have had enough and you don't want to be in it anymore, I have been there. And I just want to say, it does get better. It gets better after high school if you're not having a good time. At the end of my high school career specifically, had much more of an enjoyable time. I, you know, just like grew into myself a little bit more in year 11 and 12, but that doesn't happen for everyone. But it doesn't last forever, and you get out of school and then you start working, or you go into your gap year, or you travel, or you go to university, and whatever option you choose, like, that is great for you, and that is your decision. And look forward to that. Look forward to all the adventures you get to have as an adult when you're out of high school and not having to think about this stuff anymore, because it's great. And I'm sure anyone can confirm that although being an adult is hard, it is worth it. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because it really supports my channel, and I will see you next week.